Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do the final software loadout on my E7440 here so I can actually start using it. If you are currently a Windows 7 user, you no doubt got the scary, no longer being supported by Microsoft screen pop up in Windows 7. I think last week or a few days ago at this point, I guess to put a date on this, it'd be the second week of January 2020. So I've got a fresh loadout of Windows 10 on this thing already. I need to transition to start using it. I told you guys it'd be another follow-up video where I do some software installations on this of like the stuff I use for YouTube and stuff like that, because I think that might be interesting for some people, and that's what we're going to do right now. So I've got it set up with a YouTube software folder of stuff I've already downloaded. The first one of these is Audacity. The second one of these is Flashback Screen Recorder, which is the first one we're going to install because then instead of pointing a camera at the screen, I can actually capture what I'm doing. I haven't done that on any of the other computers we've worked on the channel because those haven't really been my computers. So I don't want to just put software on somebody else's computer, even if I can uninstall it. You know, that's going to leave fingerprints through the registry and stuff like that. I just don't like doing that. So that's going to be the first one we'll install. And this one is GIMP. And keep in mind that I don't name them, I just download them and use them. GIMP is basically a generic or a poor man's Photoshop. That's what I use for creating some of the thumbnails and stuff. A lot of the thumbnails are created from like Microsoft Paint kind of stuff like that and are undisputably crappier. GIMP is a much more powerful tool that I also don't know how to use, but we're working on it. So the first one we are going to install is going to be that flashback recorder though. So no real magic there, just a double click, up it comes. Next. Yep, I accept all your draconian policies. That sounds fine. Sure, don't want any of these things. Just in the start menu is fine with me. Install. Next. No, we don't need to. Yeah, we'll go ahead and run it now, why not? And I don't need to send them usage. So finish. And this guy's pretty cool. This will allow you to take a screen grab of either your entire screen or just a section of the screen. And, you know, as a YouTube viewer, I'd always wondered what people did or how they went about doing that. Oh, neat. Did I start it twice? Is that the problem? Maybe. Let's shut this down and see if it repeats that behavior. Same as usual, guys. I sit down to make a 5-second video and it's a 45-minute ordeal because of weird stuff. Let's try it again. Nah. Everything looks fine. That was probably my fault. So there are various settings in here you can change. Apparently you can schedule to automatically record your screen. But the primary settings we are going to deal with is full screen, region, and window. If you go to region, it'll let you select what size or what position, well, it's what region of the window you're going to actually record on. Window would actually just be the present window you're on, so you can hit window and select various windows and it'll just share those. When I record, I almost always just go for region. Record PC sounds, even if you're using an external microphone source like I am. Like right now, this computer isn't recording the audio for this video. I like to leave that on because then I can audio sync between the video this is going to capture and the video I capture with the camera, or if I'm using it as an audio recorder, I can sync those up. You have to forgive kind of the shaky cam. I told you guys something that's wrong. Before this checkbox was set to record PC sounds, that would be like the dings and dongs and crap that Windows does. I don't want that. I want record microphone, and now you can see it's actually hearing me. And it kind of screwed me up. I thought I had selected the right thing because I was not able to record microphone. For some reason the microphone in this thing was disabled. That is the feature we want to use so I can sync up audio later with my actual sound recorder. And that's basically my fundamental level of understanding. So if we were to hit record right now, oh, I said full screen, so it's going to go full screen. It's telling us here Control-Shift-S to stop, which we are going to do pretty much immediately because I screwed up. Okay, so now we're back where we started. I'm going to go ahead and go to Region. Record. And now it's asking me to select a region size. You can see these grab handles here. We can put those wherever we want. I think we should be able to, yep, just grab the corners and make it the size you want, and that is what it will record. So just for fun, sure. We'll go ahead and tell it to record, and it gives us a countdown again. And now this is what is being recorded. I think you'll be seeing this cursor yellow. Okay, and you can turn that on or off. You can have it highlight that, but that's all there is to it. Control-Shift-S again, and we'll stop the recording. We'll go ahead and save it, and it saves as its own proprietary file format. that is that tool. It is installed. We will be using it from henceforth. But before we do that, because basically at that point, I'm putting the camera away. We'll be doing stuff through the screen. I just want to show you guys one other cool thing. And that cool thing is this guy. This is actually a little USB DVD burner. Because modern laptops, when I say modern, I know it's kind of a chuckle because this thing's like 6 years old, but laptops right after my E7410s stopped having optical drives, but I still like having optical physical media, so I needed a way to install them. The reason why this is cool, there's nothing new about this, but the reason this is cool is this thing was $13 new on eBay. And it's a little cheesy in that it occupies 2 USB slots, one for power and one for data, but it works. It works just fine. So Sony Vegas is a physical disc that we'll need that drive for, and Acronis True Image. This is the full paid version of Seagate Disk Wizard, basically. You've seen me use that before. This is the real deal version. And you can see we've had this plan for a little while. It's time to get it in motion. So these two are physical. So I needed the little $13 drive to do that. And I'll try and find a comparable one on Amazon or something to link for you guys. With all that said, I am now a happy guy because now we should be screen capturing and I don't have to stand at my kitchen table showing you guys all this stuff, leaning over a tripod. So now I think the next thing we're going to do is install Audacity. This is an audio editing tool, and this is a pretty cool piece of software because you can set it up to actually drag MP4 videos into it and stuff like that and extract the audio from them and edit them if you want. We do need a desktop shortcut. So it's a pretty cool little tool. Everything I've shown you guys here is going to be free, by the way. Like the flashback recorder I just showed you guys is actually Flashback Express. That's the free version. It doesn't allow editing, but that's okay. You know, we edit videos around here all the time anyway. So just for funsies, we'll go ahead and launch Audacity. I don't know if it's going to get upset because I'm already running a audio recording device. We'll find out. I don't need these tips. Okay. So we'll see if it'll even attempt to record. Yeah, looks like it's going to try and record. And this is what you get out of Audacity. Is it just gives you the waveforms. You can tune your mic gain and all that stuff. You could use this as a standalone audio recorder. And that might be something I look into more in the future. Getting my microphone kind of divorced from my camera because it's kind of a pain. But we'll see. There's a lot of different things. But in a nutshell, this is what you use Audacity for, is to do stuff with audio. What I want to use it for is to be able to drag and drop MP4 videos to edit them. And we have to add some tools to it. We have to put some add-ons in it. And there's a funky place I need to go to tell it where to get its MP3 codecs and MP4 codecs. I don't remember where they are. So all I've done here, guys, is Google for the Audacity manual and just looked up Audacity MP4 audio, and that takes you to the manual, which is all online. And you know, how do I download and install the FFmpeg import-export utility or library? This is the help we're looking for. So we are going to go to the Windows link because that's what we're doing. External FFmpeg download page. That is what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and get the recommended installer package for Windows. So I'm back in the Audacity help, and this is another case of me being an idiot and screwing myself over. Recommended installer, go to the download page. We did this, or we thought we did, and I just went, oh, lame for Windows. New. Scroll down a touch. Lame for Audacity. So this was me being dumb, so we're going to save this zip. So I've downloaded that and I've gone ahead and put it in our YouTube folder here. And it is a zip, so I probably have to extract it. Extract all. And here we are in the extracted folder. I believe this is probably the guy we want to run. Perhaps not. I've got a feeling I should have read those directions more carefully again. So it doesn't look like this actually has an installer. So what I'm going to do is just copy all these to where I actually want them to end up. MPEG for Audacity. Let's see if that actually is all it took. Oh, it sees it. Let's say okay. Let's just restart Audacity for good measure. Let's try our MP4 now. Yay! It works. So the key here is you have to be smarter than what you're working on, and I'm not because it's kind of late and I'm tired and all that good stuff. Anyway, that is Audacity. That is a very poor example of how you install Audacity. It's really straightforward if you're not a moron. The problem is I am. Next up, we're going to install GIMP. And this should be a nice straightforward walk in the park because it doesn't require me to think. And I really need to figure out what's going on with Windows 10, those permissions. I don't need it bitching at me all the time. Let's go to Customize, why not? Yeah. Oh, I agree to your terms, sounds fine. Yeah, that's pretty much all over my head or don't care, so fine. By the way, wow, 1.1 gigs of disk space, that's impressive. Install. It'll be doing that for some time to come, so we'll catch back up with it when it's done. Yes, we will finish. I don't know if that means it's going to run itself or not, but we'll assume not. GIMP. Bring out the GIMP. There it goes. And this is GIMP. What you would do is you would drag and drop your thumbnail picture in here, or whatever picture you want to alter, and just start going nuts. I don't know enough about either GIMP or Photoshop to say that GIMP is like Photoshop, but in how I use it, it's like Photoshop. It is also fairly complex. You can do an awful lot with it, and there are some really good tutorials out there that I suggest you go check out if you are interested in creating nifty thumbnails or doing other picture work, because I'm not at all qualified to talk about that. But anyway, GIMP is installed and it's running. So I think the next thing we're going to do is break out some of our disks, and I really want to put Vegas on this thing because it's the whole thing that started this all. So let's go do that. So I put my Vegas disk in my USB drive, and I expected it to autoplay and it didn't. Maybe that's because I have my settings set wrong. Vegas Movie Studio 15 Platinum sounds good to me. See if it'll run it. I hear the drive chunking. It may not be an awesome sign that I just hear the drive chunking over and over again after I sang the praises of my $13 eBay drive. And it wasn't. The good news is the screen capturing also got screwed up because I have my laptop set for lid closed behavior when it's powered on to do nothing. So when you close the lid on any of my laptops, it just keeps running like nothing changed. I had expected that to mean that the screen capture would continue to capture whatever would have been displayed on the screen, but it didn't. It captured a black screen the entire time. The good news is that's good news for you guys, because for the next 2.5 hours I screwed around with this piece of garbage trying to get it to work and rambling into the microphone, and we didn't really need any of that for this video. So that's all been hacked. This thing's a piece of crap and didn't work. I made reference to the fact that I did have a nuclear option available at my disposal to use, but I really didn't want to just jump right into that. So I made up a whole bunch of nuke jokes, including a War Games joke with Matthew Broderick about, all he wanted to do was play with his computer, and, now there's a globothermonuclear war happening, and blah, blah, blah. I've hacked all that out of the video. That's the story. We start now. You dropped a bomb on me, baby. Welcome to the nuke. Maybe that's the actual name of this thing now. You can see why I didn't lead with this as our front-running option, because I don't want to give anybody the idea that this is in any way required for what we're doing. And this is yet another of my 90% completed projects that just needs some getting back to, and we will talk about it more deeply at some point. But in a nutshell, all this thing is 3 Blu-ray drives and 4 DVD drives all in one case. And they all do actually work, and it connects via USB. And all 7 drives do come up as USB devices. And I'll show you that I'm not joshing you. These aren't just fake. They're all real. All actual drives that all actually do stuff. So anyway, that's what we're going to use to install software on this thing, because it's all USB. And the first step of continuing down this road is to actually just plug that tower in, because it's never been plugged into the 7440. I know how it behaves on the 6410 because that's what I had when I built it, but I don't know what it's going to do here. So if we're lucky and we played our cards right and this thing is as reliable as I believe I built it to be, we should be able to just plug it in and it'll take off in a few moments. Let's find out. I said 90% complete includes it's got a really freaking short cord on it right now. So, okay, I think we can reach now. Let's see what happens. It's plugged in. And how many drives is that? 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 drives, so there you go. 7 USB connected optical readers. I think one of them will probably work. So we're back with our Sony Vegas disc. We're just going to dump it in the top of Blu-ray drive. And if this is like everything else on the planet, it should just take off and auto run. And in like 5 seconds from now, it'll install itself and it'll just be done. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to auto run. Doesn't look like it's going to. Probably because I told it not to. Oh, drive's doing stuff now. Okay, well, we'll just run that one then. So far it is also not doing awesomely promising stuff. This is growing to concern me. I can't expect that both discs that I tried last night would be bad, but so I'm going to give it a minute and we'll come back to it and we'll see what happened. Well, that's probably not good. We'll reboot it. I just booted it up a moment ago. Well, it turns out I was waiting for a reboot from a Windows update, so hopefully that is why it was offended. And this thing's never been rebooted with all these drives plugged in before too, so that may have changed things. Pretty sure, yep, gave it a double click. We'll see if it takes 10,000 years again, or if it gets really pissy again. So is this thing just taking 100 years? What do we got over here? Movie studio. Okay, English sounds good. Next. Yeah, I once again agree. Next. Okay. Let's see if this does normal kind of things. It looks like it is. Yeah, this is going much, much better than it did with our other USB drive. Apparently this disk is just kind of slow to start for whatever reason. Yeah, it's not even reading from the actual disk right now. I think it actually copied the whole disk to a temporary folder, which actually is another thing that I wanted to mention, is I could have potentially just copied this disk straight to a USB disk and try to install it that way, but sometimes these have copy protection and stuff and that doesn't work. But anyway, yeah, that was a swimming success, so no problem. Finish. Awesome. That'll be fun to try and figure out how to use. And just for funsies, let's just throw it in a different random drive this time for Acronis. I have no clue what drive letter this could possibly be. This is one of the DVD drives. It's because none of these drives have been used in like 4 years, 3 years, so we'll give it a shot. Popped right up. Install, which was a double click by me, I think, or it could have been the auto run. Okay, so I've hit install like twice now. And the drive is blinking, which is good news. We'll let that guy go for a little bit and we'll see what happens. So this is actually pretty cool. I was hoping that by buying this physical copy I would indeed have lifetime updates. So let's go ahead and download and install the new one. So that's probably the end of our CD drive saga, let's hope. Yeah, because it's going to be downloading for the next 5 forevers. So we'll get back to this in a short while, but all in all, the Tower of Doom over here, I'm going to have to come up with a name for this thing, seems to have worked where that goofy USB drive failed us. So we just needed an even goofier USB drive to work. Well, that was hard. Start application. We'll just start it and see. We're going to go ahead and not show again, because I don't know what I'm doing with it yet anyway. That's not what this video is about. Appears I need to make an Acronis account. Anyway, I believe that's the end of our software installation here. So I've once again made a bunch of problems for myself that didn't need to exist. First of all, with the trouble with Audacity, because I just failed to read instructions. And then next, because of my thrift with that $13 piece of junk Chinese USB drive. And big surprise, the seller is being difficult to deal with to replace it or to refund my money. They're, oh, make sure your disk is clean, blah, 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 all that crap. Anyway, you guys know I'm not BSing you, because 1, I never do that, and 2, you saw how this all went down, that I just used a total of 3 different drives to do this, and we had a 100% success rate with the drives I already knew worked, and a 100% failure rate with the brand new ones. So that's going to be it for this one. I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Max, that's Saddington Bear, and we make videos like this all the time. Here are a couple links to some other videos we've made, and we really appreciate you guys stopping in.